ranking every single skin that was released in Chapter 4, Season 1 of Fortnite. Let's get straight into it. To start off with, we're going to go with the Battle Pass skins. So first of all, we have Selena. Now, I'm not going to lie, most of her styles are kind of good, but not something I would wear on like a daily basis. But her Moonglow style in particular looks amazing. If it was just that one by itself, I would put her in Legendary. But the rest of them kind of pull it down for me. They're still good, but they're not stuff I would wear on the daily. Once I unlocked the Moon style, it was just that one I would wear. So I'm going to pop her comfortably in the epic tier. Up next we have Masai. Now Masai is another one of those skins that's kind of, it's alright, but I think its styles save it for me as well. The first few styles are good, they are like tier 1 starter skins, but once he puts the mask on, I much prefer that. I would never wear it without it. So I'm going to put him in the same category as her, but slightly below her. Next up we have the Doomslayer himself, one of the most hyped up part of the beginning of the chapter, instant legendary, gaming icon. I haven't even played Doom myself and I know it's an awesome skin, plus all the extra styles it has with it. It's just a 10 out of 10 skin. Next up we have Halsey, more edgier, like gothic almost vibe, maybe punk. Very cool skin. Again, lots of styles as well. Her work uniform and her school uniform, not too big on, but just her base style is what I prefer, and I think it's awesome. I'm going to pop us in the epic as well, but right in the middle as well. So up next we have Dusty. Pretty good baseball skin, but baseball skin doesn't really do much for me. Even when she puts the mask on, all the extra styles and that, they don't really do anything for me. Not a bad skin, but I'm going to put him in uncommon just because there's not a lot I can get out of it. Up next we have Azumi. This one gets a lot of hate just because it's kind of a generic anime, but I have to agree with the community, it's nothing special. I will pop it. I'm going to put it at the bottom of uncommon. It might drop down to common. Next we have the first original tier 100 in a very long time now, the Ageless. Very cool, and just for being a original tier 100, it bumps it up pretty high for me. Its selectable styles as well are pretty good. Lets you take the horns off of the helmet, nice big piece of armor. This goes in legendary for me. Alrighty, now that we're done with the battle pass, onto our first item shop skin. And what best to start it off with than the Hulk. Now the Hulk is a skin that, if you had asked me, like when they first started doing crossover skins, if the Hulk would ever make it in, I would say no. There's no way they could do it. He's too big, he's too bulky, he just doesn't fit with the rest of them. They somehow did it and it works really well. Obviously he's bulkier like every other like big skin, so he takes up more of your space. But I think it's well worth it. He looks very cool. It's very funny to watch him do goofy emotes. His selectable styles, nothing special in my opinion. It might be a reference to like a comic or something like that, I'm not too sure. But I pretty much stick just to the default style legendary. I would probably say the highest legendary so far. Oh, and I'll probably put the Ageless in the middle there. So we'll knock out all the Winterfesh skins while we're here. The first one is Winter Wonder Sky. Very cute skin. Sky is one of those ones that don't get too many reskins, but the ones that do are always very cute and very well done. I would say a pretty good low epic. Now next up we have the two free Guff skins. The Gruff Gringle, which I believe was the one that you got from logging in on PC. While it is very cute, very bulky, and it just doesn't look good in my opinion, I'm going to pop it in, we'll put it in the middle here in uncommon. However, Slay Ready Guff is a lot better in my opinion. The colors look a lot better. The red and the white, like it looks so artificial, like even the mustache, I don't like it. But the brown looks very good. And I would say it's on par with the original Guff. So I will pop you in, we'll go rare, because I'm starting to get too many in epics. And lastly, for the Winterfresh rewards, we have the Arctic Adeline skin. bottom of common tier. Despise this skin. It looks like it was built to be a sweaty skin, and I just don't like it. Up next is our first iconic skin, Mr. Beast! I forgot that Mr. Beast was this season. It felt like that's that long ago. With the amount of stuff that got added in with Mr. Beast, his challenges, his creative thing, the whole contest with that, which I participated in, it took up like the entire couple of weeks it was around. The skin itself looks spot on. It's cool that you can add a hat to him and do little things like that. I will probably pop this one on the very top of Legendary for now. However, the Mr. Beast 6000 skin, it always loses a couple of points for me when they do these iconic skins and release it as two separate packs. And the Mr. Beast pack especially was was split up between the two, so you basically have to buy both of them to get a full loadout with it. The helmet style, while it's cool, it looks a bit goofy in game. I do quite like the cel-shaded unmasked version though. It does look good, but it's definitely nothing compared to the original. I will pop it in, we're right in the middle. I'd say, go like that. It's still very good. I do like it. I do wear it from time to time. The next skins that came out, I believe, were the My Hero Academia skins. It's not an anime that I've seen. I haven't seen many animes, but this is definitely not one of them. But I can appreciate how good the skins look. I'm gonna say for these ones, we'll put Deku in Epic, or I'm just gonna sit them all in Rare. I think I do like the skin. I'd say that they're probably the best anime skins that we've had in. I much prefer them over the Dragon Ball ones. These two in particular, probably the best ones. The Deku one, I just think is a mainstay in Fortnite culture now. And All Might does get brownie points for having two styles that are completely different. I might pop these two into uncommon though, as I don't see many people wearing them. Bakugo is really cool, but the way his skin looks, like his hands and his things and that, makes it impossible to play with. And this one I don't see anyone use except for sus TikTok memes. Up next we have the Lumi Jelly skin, a reskin of Jelly. I believe this one was a real money pack. It might have been a V-Bucks pack from memory. I would say it's an improvement over Jelly. Jelly is very cute, but this one just looks so much better to look at. I love the colors on it. I love its back bling and I love its pickaxe. As for placement on the tier list, I'm gonna say middle of Epic. I do quite enjoy it. I'd say above the Mr. Beast skin. And even though it is just a recolor, it's a well done recolor. Up next we have Snow Dancer. It fits the style it's going for, like a winter like ballerina thing, but it's just not for me, so I'm gonna pop them in the uncommon tier, probably above the remaining anime skins. Up next we have the next iconic skin, which again was split over two skins again. I believe they're a sports player of some kind, not someone I'm familiar with. A lot of customization with these two skins, and their sets in particular. I really love the wings that came with, I think the first with this one here. This is someone who I have never heard of and probably will likely never hear of them again. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pop the original one in common, but at the top of common. And we'll pop the second skin into uncommon. The skin itself is a pretty cool like night skin with like lightning and stuff. I think that's really cool. We might pop it at the bottom of rare actually. Next we have Guildhard. Now Guildhard was the crew pack for, I believe, last month. If I'm honest, I was a little bit disappointed by this skin. It's exactly what it sets out to be. It's like a cool like samurai, ninja warrior, like armored warrior kind of thing with like a wooden mask. But most of its set is not particularly interesting. So we'll be popping this one in rare, I'd say. I think it's very cool, but I think I've worn him like once while I've owned him. We'll pop him at like the top half of uncommon, I'd say, maybe like that. Up next we have Graveheart, another fan-made skin from memory. Not too big on this one either, unfortunately. Very cool concept, and it's very cool to see it in the game. Not one that particularly interests me, so I will be popping it in the lowest tier of uncommon. Next up, we have this big bony boy. This is the most not Fortnite looking skin I have ever seen. It's very edgy, and I'd say edgy to a fault. It does look cool, but I can't take it seriously at all. I think I'll just pop it behind this skin, honestly. Actually, we might go like that. I think that's a bit fairer. Up next, we have Hannah. Hannah was a skin that I saw a lot of people get really excited for. Has a lot of customization options and does look pretty cool. I kind of like their set more than the skin itself. I like the emote and the glide and everything, but the skin itself is just kind of meh for me as well, which is a shame. But I do think it's cooler than these last bunch, so we'll pop it at rare. I think it beats out most of these skins in coolness, and I think its set carries it a bunch. And it is very cool, just not for me. Next up, we have the Rift Warrior, which I believe is supposed to be a story character that hasn't had much of an impact on the story yet. I do love the hands on the skin. It's got like hands on its shoulder and like holding onto it, like holding all its armor together. It does look very cool, but I can't imagine myself wearing it. I'll pop it at the higher tier of epic. Up next, we have another Gaming Legends series skin. I think this was a V-Bucks pack. I'm not familiar with Dead Space at all. From what I could tell, it's like a sci-fi horror space game. The skin itself looks very cool. It looks very biohazardy as well. I pop it on every now and then. So I'll pop it at the higher tier of epic, but it's not one that I have much connection to. Up next, we have the Kid Leroy. Very cool concept. It's always great to see another Aussie icon in the game. I'd never actually heard of the Kid Leroy before it comes through, and now I'm actually a fan. But as for the skin itself, the only style I really like for the main skin is him without a hat or glasses on. I think the hat and the glasses are very goofy, like in a bad way. But the skin by itself, just him without his hat and without his glasses on, very cool. I'd say it's probably the better of the two of the skins. I'll pop it in, we'll pop it under this Mr. Beast. As for the Rogue Glory, not too big on this one. It feels like it could have been a style option. I do appreciate they added some other styles in, but again, it didn't feel different enough to be its own separate skin, its own separate pack. We'll pop it here, I'd say. Up next, we have Lucian West. Saw a lot of hype on this one as well when it first released. It's kind of that alternative boy kind of look. I think I like it. I really like his back bling as well. It's like a big fox. Not one I picked up, but I do think it's quite cool. We'll pop it at like the lower tier of epic for today. We now have Son Gohan and Piccolo, two Dragon Ball Z skins. I have heard a lot of people saying that Piccolo should have been included from the start, but I have no connection to Dragon Ball. I'm gonna pop these two in common personally, just because I have no reason to not do it. But I will pop Piccolo in front because I do think he's a little bit more interesting. Actually, we'll pop him. Yeah, we'll put it in the bottom. Now that I'm thinking about it, we'll pop these two there as well. I think that's fair. Next up, we have Sylvie, which was the next month of the Fortnite crew pack. So this is like a different art style in a good way. It doesn't look like every other human in the game. Its eyes are very big, almost anime, like chibi-ish. Plus, its back bling is a tiny Colombo. Like, how can you go wrong with that one? I bought it almost just for that one. Skin itself, though, very cute. We'll pop it, I'd say midway in epic. Next up, we have Chase, which is I think it's lacrosse is the sport it's for. I mean, reputation is good, but I just do not care. Next up, we have the secret skin for the season. Probably it was a very interesting skin, and it had a lot going for it, including the School of Llama quests and all the work with it. It kept me going for a long time. The skin itself, though, it's cool. No connection to The Witcher, but definitely cool. I'll pop it at the same tier as Isaac. Now we have Folly, which was this year's Valentine's Day skin, and it's a very punk, like strong Valentine's skin. One that you could wear all year round instead of just on Valentine's Day. We'll pop it at the bottom tier. Pop it here. I think that's a good spot for it. Now we have Cold-Blooded Ace, which was a free skin that came with the heist theme mini update a couple of weeks ago. It's quite cool, and of course a free skin always pops it up at a couple extra tiers. We'll pop it at the top of rare. Next up we have Axion Sentinel, which is this level up quest pack. Very cool skin, probably one of my favorite of the level up pack skins. Anything that has the galaxy effect on it is always bonus points for me. Popping this one, ooh, pop it just above Mr. Beast. Oh, no, this is a legendary skin, a very low legendary skin, but legendary. Now we've got more Marvel skins for this season. The Sam Wilson as Captain America skin. I was very pumped for this one when it came out. It was kind of out of the blue, but I've been waiting for this one for a very long time. I think Sam Wilson is great as Captain America. I love his glider. A little bit disappointing that we do get the shield as a pickaxe and back bling again. We already have that, but it is slightly different. The skin itself though has to be legendary. I would put probably here. The Bright Bomber Marvel skin, pretty good as well. It's been a very long time from memory since we've had a Marvel combination skin. I think the last one would have been when Deadpool released, I think, back in chapter 2, wouldn't it? Probably my favorite Bright Bomber skin. We'll pop it at the top of rare, I would say. Up next, we have the newest addition to the Icon series, Flake's Power. A lot of people on my side of the world are only just finding out about this person. Apparently very popular in Brazil. Not too big a fan on his first style. It's basically just him, from what I could tell. His second style is very unique though. I do really like that one. And for that, we'll pop it midway through, about here in the Epic tab. Just for that second style. The first style, it's his YouTube skin. He'll use it in his videos, I assume. But the second, actually, we'll pop it here, I'd say in the rare. Almost at the end now, we now have Rift Knight Kyrian, which is the current month of Fortnite crew. This is what I was talking about with the last month's crew, where it's like, it looks like it is in a different style, but in my opinion works a tiny bit less than the other one. She's in epics. Yeah, we'll pop this one, probably put it next to Flakes. We have the Championship Jonesy skin, which is this FNCS skin. Never really been a big fan of the FNCS skin. They just kind of feel like recolors that are artificially rare. We'll just pop it at the bottom of common. And our last skin for today is the Creed skin. I do think this is a very cool skin, got a lot of customization. I want to put it at like epic. We'll pop it like here, I'd say. And that's it. That's every skin that released this chapter as of recording. Let's just have a quick look through, see if there's anything that needs to be moved around at all. I feel like I was a little bit too rough on this skin. We'll pop it at the bottom of uncommon. Alrighty, I just ranked every single skin that was released in Season 1 of Chapter 4 of Fortnite. What points do you agree with and what points do you disagree with? Leave them in the comments for me. I've also made this a public tier list that you can get a copy of in the link in the description. Give it a try, and why don't you send it to me over on my Twitter as well. I'll respond to a few from over there. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day.